We're going to start this segment with some behind-the-scenes video of Trump at Mar-a-Lago or Bedminster, one of his clubs. As a reminder, if you didn't see my last video, we are recording this from the car because we're going to be driving all day today, going to an event. And so we want to do content while we're doing that. We don't want to waste this time. Come on now. So Ron Filipkowski, who I reference a lot, he does fantastic work, captioned this video that we're going to watch as follows. This is what he lives for, right here, referring to Trump: worship, adulation, and praise. If only his mom had hugged him more, we might not be dealing with this. And I know some of that's just a more lighthearted remark, but there is something underlying. And we've heard Mary Trump, his niece, speak to this about the psychology of Trump and why it is that he's made a political career in the interest of self-gratification, and how if things had gone differently in his life and he felt more fulfilled and didn't need the constant attention, maybe we wouldn't have had him inflicted on us for all of this time. So first, we'll keep it lighthearted, then we'll talk more about that. Then I'll give you an update about some shocking information we're getting about the rapid momentum swing, and a pollster saying he's never seen anything like it in his life in the interest of Vice President Harris. But here's Trump walking into music to dinner. One thing we've heard from people like his family members over and over again is that there is a profound sadness, a deep discontent with himself, even as he thinks more highly of himself than anyone, right? So I don't want to do too much psychoanalysis, but it really does seem this is more consequential of a characteristic of a politician than you could possibly imagine, because it leads to all of what we're seeing now. Before showing you more of these videos, you know, we've been following extensively the obsession with crowd sizes of Trump, right? And some people have been saying, why is he incapable of being disciplined in this campaign against Vice President Harris? Why has she thrown him off so much, where he's levying these wild personal attacks, questioning her race, for example, and then saying that, oh, all her crowds are AI, which is just leading to a lot of people going, well, within his party, people who want him to win are saying, no, stop, why are you making yourself look like that? And when you contrast it against the discipline message of the Harris campaign, it is quite the contrast and beneficial to her. And it comes down to this: crowd sizes is such a direct indicator of sort of the attention that you're getting, or the attention people are giving you, the praise, and the fact that, as represented by the crowd sizes of Harris's events, but also just the media discussion, it is driving him crazy that right now the media conversation is about Vice President Harris. Of course, he's still a huge part of it, but she's getting more attention, and that is not something he's had maybe going back to his run in 2016. He's always been the center of it all. And so I guess how he copes is playing an intro song to walk into dinner. Hello, I'm here for dinner. Everyone clap for me. You might remember also from Ron Filipkowski, him posting videos like this one. Unbelievable. Trump crashes a wedding at Mar-a-Lago and is like the worst drunk uncle who got a hold of the mic and won't shut up. He's like a bad lounge act. This is so pathetic. And this is a video from some time ago after he left the White House, where he'd just show up to weddings. And of course, I know some people like to pretend like the people there are confused as to why he's talking. Maybe, but I think they like it. It's just so strange. It's a strange dynamic to go, guys, I know you're having a wedding reception or something, but give me the mic. I'm going to rant about this.
They are living like nobody has ever seen anybody. There's never been anything like what's, and you're going to have hundreds, and you have it now. They have the airplane photos, the shops, and they call them shops. And these things are showing thousands and thousands of people coming up from South America. And it's going to be, it's just look, it's a disaster. It's a humanitarian disaster from their standpoint, and it's going to destroy the country. And frankly, the country can't afford it because you're talking about mass.
A great couple here, but it's so sad that they're coming from jails, they're coming from insane asylums. Hannibal Lecter might just kill this happy couple. Y'all have a fun time. Enjoy the songs. Photos like this, these people were trying to have a nice wedding. Philip Kowski writes at a country club, and the grumpy owner crashes it, rambling about how he lost an election 2 years ago and how the FBI stole his love letters from a Korean dictator. And you can see the shot there. Again, you would have MAGA folks saying, nah, he's just connecting with people over how many people are coming across the southern border, and that's what people talk about at weddings. But I think it's hard not to see the underlying sadness in this. And even with the fame and prominence that he does have, it's never enough. Even when he comes to dinner, he needs people to clap for him. Maybe it's a fundraiser or something. So again, there's rational explanations, but it's quotes like this that really make me think. And this is no longer lighthearted, joshing around Republicans against Trump. Quote, Mary Trump, who said about her uncle, quote, having been abandoned by his mother for at least a year and having his father fail not only to meet his needs, but to make him feel safe or loved, valued, or mirrored. Donald suffered deprivations that would scar him for life. The personality traits that resulted displays of narcissism, bullying, grandiosity finally made my grandfather take notice, but not in a way that ameliorated any of the horrors that had come before. So maybe there is a real deep explanation. Again, you can see a lot of Mary Trump's work on this as to what has caused this to be the person that we're now dealing with. And it's something else. But aside from that, because victory for us is so important come November, we have some really positive stuff. And I should say one other thing. In private, you have this, right, going, oh, everyone clap for me. But report after report, as we've reviewed, and this you need to sort of keep in mind as we talk about this, we're seeing little moments of it in public with the lack of discipline messaging, with the crazy personal attacks. But behind the scenes seem more crazy. And we talked about reports about him melting down, people around him saying they think he's having a nervous breakdown over Vice President Harris, lashing out at staff members over the polls being what they are. And reports like this one definitely aren't putting him in a better mood. The Hill report's longtime GOP pollster Frank Luntz said in a Wednesday interview he's seeing a broad shift, and apologies, it looks like we lost the graphic there, if we can get it back. This is what you do when you're on the road, okay? Let's try to plug that in, and it should be back now. Longtime GOP pollster Frank Luntz said in a Wednesday interview he's seeing a broad shift in the 2024 polls toward Vice President Harris as she rides her intensity advantage, and as former President Trump increasingly commits, quote, political suicide. Luntz said Harris's recent enthusiasm boost has tapped into a part of the electorate that might not have otherwise voted in November had President Biden remained the party's nominee. He predicted that could have a down ballot effect, speaking in an interview on CNBC's Squawk Box. And you can see some of these quotes are stunning. Again, a GOP pollster. She's bringing out people who are not interested in voting for either Trump or Biden. So the entire electorate pool has changed. And if it continues in this direction, you have to start to consider Democrats winning the Senate and Democrats winning the House. The actual people who are participating. She's got intensity now. She's got an intensity advantage. She's got a demographic advantage. And I haven't seen anything like this happen in 30 years Excuse me. I looked up and just assumed what the next word was. In 30 days. I haven't seen anything like this happen in 30 days. So in that period of time, in his entire life. Something this rapid has not happened in his entire life. And talking about shifting demographic, shifting the entire outcome. The issues and conditions favor Donald Trump. He should be winning this election. But the attributes are so much in Harris's favor that he's not. And this is super interesting. I'm trying to do a focus group tonight with undecided voters under the age of 27 for a major news outlet. I can't recruit any young women to this because they don't exist as undecided voters. Young women exist, but not as undecided voters. They're decided towards Harris. At one point in this, he described a collapse in the direction of Harris. Undecided voters are collapsing in the direction of Vice President Harris. Exciting. And that's this quote right here. The people who are undecided have all collapsed towards Harris. The people, this is really interesting. The people who are weak Trump have all collapsed towards undecided. So there's a massive, massive shift going on. And then he talks about what on earth is going on with the campaign of Trump. Because the only way you would reverse something like this is by running a really effective campaign against Harris, right? If she has the momentum, you have to do a lot of work to stop momentum and then to bring it back your direction. And not only is he not stopping sort of the leaking of support, but he's exacerbating it with the campaign he's running, with the personal attacks. So bad that even, as we reviewed in a different segment, groups in swing states like white non-college educated voters, who ordinarily, that's Trump's base, even there we're seeing a huge shift comparing Biden's numbers versus Harris's numbers, and she's getting way more support among that population than Biden did. And another base group, like evangelicals, you're seeing stuff like this. The Christian Post, Billy Graham's granddaughter joins Evangelicals for Harris, quotes Isaiah to blast Trump supporters. The granddaughter of the late Reverend Billy Graham endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris during an Evangelicals for Harris Zoom call Wednesday and suggested that Christians who support former President Donald Trump are causing people to turn away from Christianity. We'll probably review this video on the members only bonus show. You can get that by clicking the join button below. It also supports the work that we do. But this event reportedly reached 40,000 people, presumably mostly evangelicals. And then there's some quotes here, but she talks about having to deal with Trump for the last few years and how it just doesn't represent the Christianity that she wants to represent. So the devastating political prospects, the shifting in everything we knew about this election in ways that benefit Harris shouldn't make us complacent. We're going to work just as hard, of course. But it is making Trump panic. And maybe that's why he needs extra applause when he goes anywhere. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. And like I said before, let me know what you thought about the road show in a very literal sense, doing the show in the car on our way to a Trump rally.